What is up, everybody? It is Craig, and I'm back with another movie review. Movie review number 24 for 2019. Albeit the movie is far from a new movie. It is 2000, I'm sorry, it is 19, no, yes, 1991's There's Nothing Out There. I never heard of this movie. I'm kind of upset I never heard of it because I enjoyed the hell out of it. And as such, I'm not going to spoil it. You know the rules by now. If it's under a 5, we spoil the shit out of it because you don't have to see it. If it's over 5, well, I don't want to tell you about it because I want you to see it. It is a trauma-backed film. Lloyd Kaufman's name pops up. You know, trauma films, etc. I'm not as versed in trauma as I'd like to be, aside from like the big things, a few movies here and there. So I'm actually watching a bunch of trauma this weekend. The movie I have next I've started watching is fairly recent. It's called The Thrashing. So be on the lookout for that one coming soon. But what are we looking at in this movie? Well, movie is one of those where you have a guy that knows horror movies and senses something's wrong. So it's like I like that. It's a trope that's been beat to death now, but in '91 it was still fairly fresh. The opening of this movie is freaking phenomenal. Although it's a dream sequence, but it's a girl in a movie theater in a video store, and she's being menaced, and then as she's crawling away from the killer, like all the horror movies, you see all the videotapes. Oh, how I long for that! Like if I ever had the financial means, I would put a little tiny video store like that in my house. But I don't, so we have to stick with some DVDs and a dresser drawer. Kind of the same thing, right? Well, I should say Blu-rays, right? Phil would be upset. I actually like this movie enough. I want to buy the Blu-ray. It's a Vinegar Syndrome release. I just don't know if the price that I'm seeing it for, we can do better than. So I got to talk to the aforementioned Phil's Creepy Vids because he can school me on it. But after that opening segment, that girl realized she was in a car. She wakes up, she crashes, something falls from the outer space. It's a creature of sorts. It kind of looked like a hobgoblin. And I say hobgoblin, not the Batman or the Spider-Man villain, but like if you remember those toys, they came in like the little like crates when you were younger. It looked a lot like that. The only difference is it had like the more of the critter's menacing teeth, and it had eyes, razor eyes that could put you under mind control. So aside from that, hobgoblin with powers. And you know the friend who's aware, like they drive the car crash scene, is like, oh, you know what that is? That's a warning. We should turn around. And everyone's like, no, we're gonna stay here and hang out, and we're gonna have sex. Which is funny because he didn't have anybody with him. So it's like the three couples were like, no, we're good. And he's like, hey, I think there's a creature. I wonder if he had somebody with him, if it would be like, yeah, we're good. What the hell? But as you might expect, one by one or two by two or whatever, people start vanishing. They they did miss a weird opportunity. They introduced like this whole gang of kids, like tougher looking kids, sort of like in part 3, Jason, that you just thought were there to be killed, and they were just there to be topless, not killed. Movie does very gratuitous that way, so if that's your thing, or if you want like a throwback to like the '80s thrasher, even though it's not a thrasher, it's a creature, this is for you. I gotta ask Eric. I could see Eric liking this movie, Horror Man Cave, because you got creature feature, and as he likes to say, you got lots of boobies. Um, it's a fun watch, and I did say I literally just watched it on Amazon Prime, and I am looking to put the DVD in my collection. I don't know when I'll watch it again, but it is something that I want to know that when it's off Prime, and I'm like, I have some friends over, and maybe something on the background, or it's like, hey, you know what, this is fun. It had some good gore too. There was a good face melting scene that was done well. And one of the things in sort of the classic trauma fashion, there was one scene where the guy was looking to get away, and you saw the microphone hanging down, and he actually jumped on the boom mic, grabbed, and he swung out the window. Um, but I recommend this highly. Now, here's where the number becomes tough because it is a '91 movie, it's a trauma movie. So it's like if I go too high, people misread what I mean by that. You know, as I try to incorporate everything. I personally give this movie a solid 6, which is a good score. Go back and look at some of my other movies. I don't know if I've given anything higher than a 7 so far. So give this a solid 6. Give this a buy if you get a chance to own it. Well, if you have the Video Syndrome release and you don't want it anymore, you want to trade it with the big guy, hit me up and we'll see what we can do. But all these are to be under 5 minutes, and yeah, it gives me a second to say peace.